This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the upcoming transit of Mercury, which is going to be entering the sign of Aries on April 8th. So from April 8th till April 24th, Mercury is going to be transiting in the sign of Aries. And friends, not only the transit of Mercury in the Aries is a sensitive, volatile placement, but over and above that, with the contribution of Sun, as Sun is also going to be entering the sign of Aries on April 14th, and Rahu's entry in the Aries on April 12th is definitely going to flare up the signification of the Aries sign. So friends, because of which you have to remain a bit cautious that how this transit is going to be influencing you, because Mercury is like a child. It's a very impressionable planet, and if you're gonna place it in a very quick paced sign, over and above that, high degree of self-importance of Sun and illusion of Rahu, this is a kind of transit where you have to remain a little bit watchful. So friends, to begin with, first of all, what does Mercury represent in Vedic astrology? So definitely Mercury is the significator of communication, of travels, of all sort of commerce and trade, all those people who get benefited because of their quick spontaneous decision making, all those people who are very friendly, all those people in whose line or nature of work expertise in mathematics is required, expertise over different languages is required. So these are among those people who get benefited because of a well placed Mercury in their chart. Friends, Moon is the significator of the emotions, of the feelings, but your capacity to break those feelings and those perceived senses into rationality, a processed information, is the role and department of Mercury in Vedic astrology. Mercury can be seen as a manager who makes you a very good multitasker. Now friends, before we will start understanding the results, I would say that you have to do a self-introspection. Like, what do you think? When it comes down to making decision in impulse, in haste, do you get benefited out of that? Or in the past, whenever you have taken decision in haste, you have always regretted that decision? Because that is something which is going to happen once Mercury is going to enter the sign of Aries. Because friends, the transit of Mercury in the Aries is all about quickness, it's all about spontaneity. So let's say, for example, if in your line or nature of work, you work in a very fast-paced environment, you work in an environment where a lot of quickness, agility, speed is required, multitasking is required. So then in those kind of circumstances, you can get benefited. Whether you are a stand-up comedian, or you work with your skill, you are a bartender, you are a car racer, you are a stuntman, if any ways in your line of work, quickness, speed and pace is required, you can get benefited. Quick decision making is required, you can get benefited. You are in this mode that you need to initiate something. In some business setting, you need to initiate something where there's a lot of, multitasking, multi-managing, quickness of the thinking, out of the box thinking. If all of that is required, even working with the government is required, you can actually get benefited with this transit of Mercury in the Aries. The vulnerability, friends, which generally comes is that many times people take the opinions, criticism and feedback very personally, because this is what the energy of Aries is. Because Aries is like a child, there is innocence as well, and there is a lot of impressionability as well, and those are the similar qualities which Mercury also represent. So those are the only areas where you have to remain watchful. And I also say this thing, friends, that I still remember when I was a kid. So my family, shown my chart to someone, and that astrologer said on my chart, seeing my strong Rahu, influence of Rahu on my moon, that I never say this thing to everyone, but I'm exceptionally saying this thing to you, that whatsoever first thought comes to your mind, always rely and believe on your instincts and act on the first impulse, because the instincts of Rahu will guide you well, because your Rahu's energy in your chart, in your life, is working in a dignified way. So that is the same thing which I want to say over here, that you have to do a self-introspection, that in your case, whenever you have acted like that in the past, have you regretted or have you benefited? So that is something which is going to be the mool mantra of this transit of Mercury in the Aries sign. So that is something, friends, which I just wanted to give you as an introduction, as an overview or a theme of this transit of Mercury in the Aries sign. Now we will shift our discussion to the next section and we will try to understand the results customized to all the ascendants. So friends, beginning with the Aries ascendant people. So definitely friends, in your case, Mercury has got the rulership of your third house and it has got the rulership of your sixth house. And in the transit, Mercury is going to be entering your first house. Now friends, if you will try to understand it over here, that because even your ascendant lord, the lord of the Aries, which is Mars, is also transiting in your 11th house only, which is a house of networking, social influence, and all sort of opportunities. So I would say that in your case, this transit of Mercury can definitely work to your benefit if in your line of work, nature of work, giving presentation, public speaking, you being in a top management leadership position, if all of that is getting qualified, so definitely you will be able to play your cards right. You will be able to present yourself to the best of your capabilities. Lot many opportunity, lot many contacts are definitely on way for all the Aries ascendant native. I would say that this is definitely going to be a time when, rather than trying to be on the backstage, try to be on the forefront in any sort of situation where you have to present or where you have to express your opinions. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Taurus ascendant natives, so definitely friends, in your case, this transit of Mercury is going to be taking place in your 12th house. So friends, in your case, you have to remain a little bit cautious, because in your case, Mercury has got a very important portfolio. It has got the ownership over your finances and all sort of speculation. So definitely friends, for any sort of speculative line or nature of work, you have to remain a little bit cautious. I would say that again friends, I will say the same thing. Ask yourself, in the past, have your gut feels, your instincts or your quickness have benefited you, or you have regretted because of that? The second thing is that I would say that with this entry of Mercury in your 12th house, I will just want to say one thing, that whatsoever you want to act, you want to react, work on proper details, facts and proper information, rather than acting out of vagueness or without having concrete substance or information or basis to your reactions or to your outburst or any sort of expression. So that is the only one thing which I want to say over here. Definitely friends, Mercury is definitely going to tempt you for taking shortcut or playing a very diplomatic in any sort of given situation of arbitration, reconciliation, even within friends. So you have to remain a bit cautious that you should not go overboard when it comes down to working and thinking only of your advantage, of only your good, and it should not offend other people. Because whenever we talk about the energy of the 12th house, because now Rahu is going to be staying in your 12th house for a long time, and that is what Rahu does. Rahu believes and Rahu thrives on secrecy, manipulation, deception, planning, and which at the end what happens is that at the end it gives rise to enmity, hostility and hidden enemies. So that is the only area where you have to work on. But let's say for example, if in your line of work, anything to do with the import, export, foreign trade, or working in the fields of art, creativity, sensuality is getting qualified, you can still get benefited. The Mool Mantra or one line prediction is that only work on the transparent and available resources, information, rather than acting out on vague information or incomplete picture. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Gemini ascendant natives. So friends, in your case, as you can fairly see that your ascendant lord Mercury is going to be transiting your 11th house. So friends, the transit of your ascendant lord in the 11th house is definitely going to make you a multitasker during this time. If in your line of work, nature of work, giving presentation, meeting lot of people is getting qualified, you can definitely get benefited. And friends, the only one thing which I want to say over here is that with the entry of Mercury and with the influence of Sun and Rahu, just try to refrain from acting out of egoism. If only you can work in that front, this transit of Mercury in the 11th house is definitely going to work in your favor only. The outcome and all the whether you are in that pursuit of any opportunity or trying to approach any important person, or whether the outcome of all of your efforts, everything is going to happen in a very quick paced way during this entry and this transit of Mercury in your 11th house. Moving ahead friends, Now for all the Cancer ascendant natives, so friends, in your case, Mercury is going to be entering your 10th house. So definitely friends, during this time, you will be able to multitask and manage multiple responsibilities with complete efficiency. Over and above that friends, just because Mercury has also got the rulership of your 3rd house as well. So if in your line of work, nature of work, any sort of like communication, working with your skill, all of those capabilities and those prospects are getting qualified, you can definitely get benefited. Whether you are like a musician, whether you are you run tutorials on YouTube or anything to do with performing arts, this transit of Mercury in your 10th house is definitely going to work in your favor. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Leo ascendant natives, so definitely friends, in your case, Mercury is going to be entering your 9th house. Mercury has got a very important portfolio for you people. It has got the rulership of your house of income and the opportunities. So its transit in the 9th house is definitely going to benefit you, because friends, when we talk about like all those people who are in the fields of law or judiciary or banking or authorship, and who are teachers, lecturers, professors, so in their cases, like communication plays a very integral part. And with the entry of Mercury in your 9th house, definitely even in all of your line of work or your financial dealings, the support of luck is definitely going to help you or benefit you. Moving ahead friends, now if you want to understand the results for all the Virgo ascendant natives, so definitely friends, it is the transit of your ascendant lord which is going in the 8th house. So friends, you have to remain little bit cautious that in whatsoever situation, if things are not going your way, you feel that, whether it's the circumstances or specific people, now this could be 8th house related, connected, your in-laws as well, if they are provoking you or they are just instigating you, so you have to keep or maintain your calm. I would say 8th house related matters, like if there is anything to do with spirituality, spiritual pursuit, occult practices, this transit can still be seen as beneficial. But whenever we talk about 8th house energy, there is a lot of hidden secretive energy which gets involved over there. So do not act out of your impulses, out of your instincts, if you do not have the complete picture right in front of you. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Libra ascendant natives, so definitely friends, in your case, Mercury is going to be entering your 7th house. So all the 7th house related matters are going to get accentuated during this time. So friends, as you know this thing, that when we talk about Mercury, Mercury is a very important planet for you because it has got the rulership of your house of fortune and luck. Its transit in the 7th house is definitely going to help all those people in whose case, whether you have your own business or whether anything to do with the dealing with the mass media or content creation, you being a politician or connected with the fields of art and media. So I would say you can get benefited. Your communication or your self-expression is going to be very potent, very strong enough, and that is how it is going to be perceived by the people or your audience as well. So I would say that even in your line of work, nature of work, or in any business setting, you want to initiate something, you want to experiment with something, so this transit of Mercury in the 7th house is going to be a very right time to experiment and initiate all those projects or ventures. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Scorpio ascendant natives, so definitely friends, in your case, Mercury is going to be entering your 6th house, which is a little bit sensitive transit of Mercury. As you know this thing, that 6th house give rise to a lot of enmity as well. So just because your ascendant lord only has got the rulership of the same house, and that is how you are equipped and you are built, you know how to handle any criticism, any opposing situation. But friends, the transit of Mercury, many times what happen is that we speak out of turn, we speak something, or we end up saying those words which many times become a matter of conflict or matter of regret. So only if in those regard you can remain bit cautious, then I would say that, because 6th house also tells about our daily work life as well. So whether being very quick, being very fast paced, being a very good multitasker, how to manage things to the best of your capabilities, on that front the transit of Mercury in your this 6th house is definitely going to help you, benefit you, because Mercury also has got the rulership of your 11th house, of your network, of your influence as well. The only thing is that while speaking, you have to remain bit cautious of your words, that it should not come across as egoistic or it should not hurt someone. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Sagittarius ascendant natives, So friends, in your case, the transit of Mercury is going to take place in your 5th house, which can be seen as a very good sign. So friends, for anything to do with art and creativity, if in your line of work, working on the original concepts and ideas is getting qualified, dealing with children is getting qualified, you being an athlete, anything to do with sports, entertainment is getting qualified, all those people can get benefited. Friends, when it comes down to from the perspective of the speculation, I would say that as long as you have your cards played right, you have all the calculations made right, then only I can give you a freehold. And with that said, you need to have those combinations in your natal chart as well, which indicates success. And you should be running the favorable dasha as well, which is indicating success in those speculative line or nature of work, or any engagement in those speculative nature of work. But apart from that, friends, the transit of Mercury in the 5th house is definitely going to benefit all those people who are in any way, whether you are a student or connected with the fields of art and creativity. Definitely the quickness, agility in your thinking process is going to benefit you. Moving ahead, friends, for all the Capricorn ascendant natives, Mercury is a very important planet for you, and in transit it is going to be entering your 4th house. So friends, I would say that the transit of Mercury in the 4th house and very soon Sun and Rahu's entry in the 4th house could give little bit of the restless in your emotional, mental, peace. So that is the only one thing where you have to remain cautious. Even in the domestic life matters, there might be sudden rise of responsibilities or running around, things going haywire. You have to manage everything on your own. So those kind of situations, circumstances can arise. So it's better, rather than to avoid and postpone things, if any development is taking place in your domestic front, try to handle it and kind of fix it on front rather than postponing it for later on. And I would say, friends, anything to do with the construction, real estate or 4th house connected line of work, occupation, so I would say that all those people can also get benefited because of the quickness and multitasking skills and qualities which they are going to bring up on the table during this time. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Aquarius ascendant natives, definitely, friends, Mercury is a very auspicious planet for you, and its transit in the 3rd house is definitely going to be bringing up very good news for all you people. So friends, when we talk about 3rd house, which has to do with your rationality, with your mental aptitude, with your skills, with your capacity to take initiative, with your friend circle, your influence in the neighborhood, with your friends. So I would say, friends, definitely this is going to be time period where you will be able to express yourself with the best of your capabilities, whether you are working as a journalist, whether you are a content creator, whether you work in sales, media, marketing. So definitely the surge of energy, whether on physical self or whether on emotional, mental, specifically the mental plane, is going to be very high. So you have to actually allocate things in a very efficient way, because your mind will be running like on a horsepower. Your mind will be bombarded with lot many new ideas, lot many plans, lot many there could be so many opportunities, or people will be approaching you with different ideas, with different way of executing things. So the thing is, on a mental plane, there is definitely going to be lot of things which are going to be coming on the platter. So it becomes very important how you multitask, how you manage, or how efficiently you allocate and handle things. And definitely there could be some gains, some opportunities which might also come on the account of your influence or on the account of your friend circle as well. And last, friends, for all the Pisces ascendant natives, so friends, in your case, Mercury is going to be entering your 2nd house. So friends, as you know this thing that Mercury is the significator of communication, 2nd house is the house of speech. So definitely, if in your line of work, communication is an integral part, giving a presentation, public speaking is an integral part, you can definitely get benefited. The good part of this transit of Mercury in the 2nd house is that there is definitely going to be a very piercing way of expressing yourself. And also, friends, when we talk about the other rule of Mercury in your case, Mercury has got the rulership of your 4th house, of your domestic life, of your inner emotional state, and 7th house of your public life, of your dealing within the world, and the contribution of your partner and the partnership. So definitely, friends, your partner can actually give you some insights, some sort of contribution in your financial income as well, in your financial inflow as well. Now, friends, with that said, the contribution, you should not be looking at it only from the perspective of the monetary or the financial contribution. Sometimes and advice only, some sort of emotional support only can play a very pivotal role and give us a direction or a breakthrough. So remain very much positive from that front as well. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to say as my inputs on this upcoming transit of Mercury in the Aries sign on April 8th. For furthermore updates and notifications on the divine signs of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.